Well, I think this video is going to get some controversy and probably some comments and feedback, but let's go for it. Here's why I suggest you avoid purchasing property in Tulum. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Parrish here, and today's topic is we're going to talk about Tulum, Mexico. I lived close to it, spent time in the area, obviously, quite a bit of time. Yes, it's taken off. Yes, it's boomed, but I'm going to give you some reasons why you shouldn't buy property in Tulum. So let's get right into it. First of all, you got to think of what's your end goal with you're buying property in Mexico. You're buying a vacation property, a rental, a retirement home, or a home if you're younger, a condo, etc. What's your goal? What are you looking for? From what I see, and again, I'm not trying to, I don't want to badmouth it too much, but from what I see, prices wise, price per square foot, what you're getting bang for your dollar, it just doesn't make sense to me what people are buying. Okay, and one thing you got to be very careful about is rental projections from what developers are saying in Tulum. Even some realtors, be careful because a lot of the times those are very inflated numbers. Now, so you're looking for a vacation property, say you want to maybe use it a few times a year, okay? Or let's say a few weeks or a month, whatever, and then rent it out, maybe for the rest of the time. You gotta shop around, okay? Just, for 3 hours from Tulum, you can buy twice the space, twice the size. You can buy an oceanfront property basically 3.5 hours away from Tulum for the same price. You can buy a 3-bedroom oceanfront condo in Yucatan State for the same price. You would probably buy you would buy a 1-bedroom in the jungle in Tulum, not oceanfront, very far from the ocean, from the beach. Basically, you're going to need a bike or a car. So, and I'm talking, $250,000 basically USD. So what you get, your bang for your dollar. Okay. Do you want to live in a jungle full of snakes, bugs, insects, spiders? Or do you want to, basically be oceanfront, wake up to the ocean, wake up to the sound of the waves, your own beach? Okay. So think of that from when you're vacationing, what you're looking for, okay? And each property, obviously you can rent out. You can still get rental income. Now here's another reason why I advise against Tulum is it's essentially, you're attracting renters, short-term renters, nightly renters every 2 nights, 3 nights. It brings in a lot of party renters, okay? What do? They damage and destroy your property, as well piss off your neighbors. So, whereas in Yucatan State or other parts of Mexico, I'm not just talking about Yucatan State, but Yucatan State is an older demographic that generally has been vacationing or renting at the beach communities there. And guess what? The older generations don't generally party, although some do, but they're not going to wreck your property. They're not going to damage your property. They're not going to piss off your neighbors as well. And another benefit is they're renting long-term snowbirds that come down for 6 months at a time, and they're renting properties. So if you purchased a condo in Yucatan State, for example, on the beach, you could rent it out to a snowbird 3 months of the year, 2 months, whatever you want to do. And you can also vacation at it throughout the year, whenever you want. But you have peace of mind knowing that your property is not going to be damaged, and you're not going to be renting it to nightly party people, like 2-3 nights. You're going to get long-term rentals. So that's a very important topic to think about when you're purchasing property in Mexico. Do you want short-term renters at your property, or do you prefer long-term renters? Me personally, I would take a long-term renter night and day over short-term, because I have peace of mind knowing that property is going to be well maintained and looked after. Another reason about Tulum, another topic, is the beach. Okay, People think that they're buying in the communities that are popping up, and they don't realize how far that actually is from the beach. Okay, it's a bike ride, or it's a long walk, or a car. You read a lot of reviews online, and a lot of people will say this, that we thought the beach was closer. This property was nowhere even close to the beach. So really, really think about that. Are you a beach person? Do you want to rent a condo in the jungle where it's a long walk or bike ride to the beach, or you buy a property somewhere else where you are oceanfront, you wake up and you're right there on the beach. So it's something to think about for sure. And another kind of topic about Tulum is just really there's, I personally, it's been a couple of years since I've gone. I did spend a lot of time there and passed through it driving, to Mahawal where I used to live. There really isn't much to do other than the beach. And, if you're a partier, there are a lot of beach raves, a lot of parties, events. If you're into that, then great, you're going to have a good time. But people that, especially from what I've, heard, or just talking to clients and just people in general, that people that have retired to Tulum, not everybody, but a lot of people have, regretted it, or they just basically found themselves trying to sell their property after a year because they just realized it was a mistake, and they just really didn't like the area. There wasn't much to do other than the beach. Infrastructure is not the greatest. So we found, even, with our properties, our clients, in Yucatan, we've had a couple buyers of our properties that basically did buy in Tulum, and after 6 or 8 months, they ended up, trying to sell their property. And, condos are a dime a dozen in Tulum. Very easy to buy, very difficult to sell, especially if you're in a hurry. So, think about that as well. And for example, in Yucatan State, if you're buying a condo on the beach, you're 30 minutes away from Merida, which is a city of 1 million people that has everything: shopping malls, 4 or 5 huge indoor shopping malls, a couple that are pet friendly. It's got movie theaters. It's got every type of restaurant, shopping, entertainment you could imagine. 3 big hospitals. It's got Costco. It's got Sam's Club. So you really think, so if you're buying in Tulum, you don't have really any of that, okay? You're going to find yourself either staying there or going into maybe Playa del Carmen, or, Cancun, which is a good 2 hours away, hour and a half. I can't remember, but Costco in Cancun, etc. for your shopping. In Tulum, they do have supermarkets, yes, but nothing too big or too major. So that's another point to consider. I'm not just talking about Yucatan State. I mean, there's tons of places all over Mexico that are a great investment. Your money goes much further. Your bang for your dollar. Campeche State, Campeche City, the beach communities there are going to be kind of the next boom. Prices on property are very, very good, very low right now, but that area is starting to take off because a lot of people looking at purchasing property in Mexico, they realize Riviera Maya, they're priced out, especially if they want oceanfront. They can't afford it. So a lot of people have gone in the last few years to the Yucatan State, beach communities outside of Merida, east and west of Progreso, where you could buy a beach condo a few years ago for under $200,000. You can't really anymore. So prices in that area have now risen, and it's priced a lot of people out of the market. So now people are looking at Campeche State, which is not very far. Campeche City is about an hour, just over an hour from, maybe it's 2 hours from Merida. I've driven that road a few times, I just can't remember, but you can get oceanfront there for some good prices. So look at that area if you're considering a future property. Campeche State is going to be the next boom. So again, not to hopefully bash too much about Tulum. I just really strongly advise people to shop around. Don't get pressured into buying a property right away in Tulum. Don't, prices going up, this and that. Condos are a dime a dozen. There's never, never going to run out of options. Just don't get pressured in. Shop around. Look what you can get. Bang for your dollar. Look at the rental, short term versus longer term. Basically what it can do to your property, damage wise, and just peace of mind, knowing that when you're renting long term, it just would give me a peace of mind, right? I wouldn't, especially if you're buying your back home in US or Canada, do you want to be worried about your condo in Tulum? Do you want to be worried who's renting it? What are they doing? So that's just some things to think about. So hope if you guys like this, please like and subscribe, share this content. I would really appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next video. Cheers.